Welcome back to the Retire Young podcast. Don't forget to subscribe to the Retire Young podcast on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. If you're just tuning in, Al is shedding some light on retirement and retirement accounts and different ways that you can make better decisions in your retirement accounts. Because, I mean, just like he said, you actually are managing your retirement right now. You just have less opportunities and lackluster performance according to what's really happening in the markets. There's a lot of opportunity in the markets, and that's the key word, opportunity, no matter which way this market goes, because we know it goes up, we know it goes down, but it also goes sideways. So you have to have a strategy for every market condition. And we're seeing some tough times right now. We have a lot of things going on globally with this coronavirus, and you really have to stay positive. We talk a lot about mindset. You have to have the positive mindset really all the time in your life, because if you're looking for things that will go wrong, you can talk those into existence. But if you want to make things go right, talk that into existence. Al, how do you help people with a positive mindset, especially in the financial markets?
Well, before I go into that, let me just talk a little bit more about this retirement issue, because you mentioned something kind of at the end of that last segment about cash or income in retirement. Because remember, when you retire, something goes away, and that's the income from your job. What doesn't go away are the bills that you have to pay, the cost of living that you have to cover. And for most people, that means whatever they have in a 401k or whatever the retirement account is, 403b, TSP, they just draw that down to pay those bills, to basically to live. And what we always talk about, and I think this is the most important thing, is learning how to generate income off of what you have. What if you could just look at that 401k or 403b as just kind of a machine that's kicking out cash on a regular basis? That's generating cash from what you have worked so hard for instead of drawing it down. So maybe you have some left over when you retire or when you pass away, I should say, when you really retire, to pass on down to your kids. Maybe a legacy or to a charity or whatever you want to do with it. So the couple of things that we think are important. Number one is generating cash. That's the most important. That's more important than having a sizable retirement account. It's the amount of money you can generate off of it. You can use those leveraged assets to do that. So you only have to take a small part of what you have to do that. And then also grow the account. Maybe you have a stock portfolio in your retirement account. You can generate money off of that using options. I started talking about options in that last segment. You don't have to sell a stock to make money on it. You don't even have to own a stock to make money on it. It's kind of what I call the magic of options. Number one, if you're using options, you learn how to do this. You can get paid cash to buy something at a lower price than it's going for right now. You can get paid cash to sell it at a higher price than it is selling for right now. You can use the options as insurance. You can use options to just keep generating premium off of the assets that you have if you have a stock portfolio, so you don't have to sell the stock. Maybe you're getting some dividends and you just want to boost the returns. You can use options to do that. And then maybe as important as anything, you use them as protection, use it as an insurance policy. So those are things I think that are really important as far as retirement is concerned. Again, generating cash, that we think is the number one thing. And right now, as far as how do you maintain a positive attitude, well, if you learn how these markets function, once you learn how the markets work, why they work, why does price change, when is price going to change, that's the key. The buy and hold strategy has you buying whatever the price is. It doesn't make any difference. It doesn't take that into consideration. That is probably the most important thing. Your entry price is key, because that should be a low-risk entry point, and it should be a point that gives you the highest probability of succeeding with the highest profit potential. You combine those things. By the way, you don't have to be right every time. You can be wrong 60% of the time if you have the right opportunity to generate the right profit, and you identify not only what that profit is, but you have your trade set so you get out with that profit, protect it, and you don't have to win every time. And I think that's one of the fallacies that people have. They think, well, what if I lose? What if I have a trade that loses? You will, and that's fine. That's not a problem as long as you understand how to use the right strategy at the right time, and what we call set and forget, which is a way of allowing you to put a trade together, and then walk away and don't even think about it.
Yeah, and you actually just made me think of something. You said people are scared. Oh, what if I lose? What if I don't win? Make money on this trade or investment? Well, does Tom Brady? Well, Tom Brady is with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers now, but when he was with the New England Patriots, did he throw a touchdown on every single play? We all know almost. You're right, almost, but we know he did not. But he's still, arguably probably one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. And he didn't go out there saying, "Oh, but what if I don't throw a touchdown?" You go for singles, you go for doubles, which is first downs, second downs, and then you get that 10 yards and then other 10 yards, and that's how you reach the end zone. That's how you reach retirement. You take gains and you take profits as it goes. Get in at low prices, but also get out at high prices. It's just having the proper strategy to buy low and sell high. Truly, what that really means. So, a lot of people are in their retirement years, or they're planning for retirement. I know you're listening right now, probably sitting on your lazy boy at home right now because we're not supposed to be driving right now. But you're probably thinking, okay, well, how do I reach retirement, and how do I do that comfortably but also confidently? Well, it comes down to a couple things. It comes down to one, knowledge, but it also comes down to skill. It's the skill to make better decisions in your retirement accounts, which is just education. And all you have to do is learn how to do that. It's not rocket science. You just haven't been taught yet. Al, I want to stay on retirement here because it's tough times for a lot of people, but I want to make sure it's positive because a lot of people probably have lost a lot in their retirement accounts, but you talked about cash flow during retirement. That's so important to have that cash flow. That way you don't have to draw that down. But also, if you don't draw that down, hopefully when prices go down, which they have, you might be able to buy at a discount. That's what it's all about. That's what Warren Buffett does. You talk about on the show numerous times about, I believe it was, didn't he have the most cash on hand in recent times lately?
$128 billion just sitting there waiting for opportunities, what he calls bargain basement opportunities.
Yeah, the key thing right there, you said opportunity. And it doesn't matter whether it's going up or down. There's always an opportunity. Explain just a little bit with these markets. They're so volatile. People are a little afraid to just jump right in and do that. Explain just let's ease the tension a little bit. Why, when you have the education and proper knowledge and skills, why can you make that a little bit better, more comfortable?
Right. Well, once you have the proper education, it's number one, it's understanding how the markets work. Why do they work the way they do? Why does price change? I mean, think about it. That's the most important thing. A lot of people believe you have to spend a whole bunch of time analyzing fundamentals. And for short-term trading, for short-term income, that really becomes a drag on what you can do. We call it kind of an analysis paralysis. You spend time looking at things that really don't impact the short-term change in price of something. You look at what's been happening in these markets. On a daily basis, the price of something can move up 2 or 3% and then down 2 or 3% and up 5% in the same day. The fundamentals did not change every time that happened. What changed is what really moves the price of something. It's buying and selling. If there are more buyers of anything in any financial instrument, the price will go up. If there's more sellers of something, price will go down. So the key then is to learn a strategy that really is based on that and has been proven to work over a period of time. And that's where you get the confidence. Once you learn how to use something that you know on a consistent basis gives you the opportunity to be successful, then the confidence comes in there. There's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of confusion, and Wall Street has tried to convince you can't do this, don't have enough money to do it, don't have enough time to do it. None of those things are true.
And we're getting close to the end of the show, and I really appreciate that we get the time and the ability to continue to do this show week after week, and because we are having tough times in the world, the whole global economy, but people are having struggles with their income accounts right now. Just people aren't working, but also in their retirement accounts. I just want to remind everybody: be positive. We are seeing obstacles out there that could be be blocking people from their goals. But let's flip that a little bit, because I like a quote. I actually have this quote, and it's by Henry Ford, and it's: obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goals. Now, let's not make time a goal, because we have the time to do things right now. And I admit it. I caught myself watching a little bit of Netflix in the past few days here. But I mean, now is the time to do that. We have the time to make decisions proper decisions, first off, have that positive mindset. Just tell yourself, I'm going to do better. I'm going to reach those goals that I have. I'm not going to let anything stop me. And don't get stuck in the whole mantra of it's hurting everybody. Well, it's hurting everybody, but it determines up to you if you want to make better decisions coming out in the future. And now is the time to do that. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Don't forget to check out our website at retireyoungaudio.com.